What if I told you that the reason you wake up tired every morning isn't your age, but what you put or don't put on your dinner plate? After 60, many people struggle with restless nights. Maybe you've tried sleeping pills, melatonin, or herbal teas. Yet the tossing, turning, and waking up drained just won't go away. Here's the surprising truth. The answer might already be sitting quietly in your kitchen. Pumpkin seeds. Yes. These tiny seeds have been used for centuries to nourish the nervous system, and now science confirms they can help calm your body, boost melatonin naturally, and bring back the deep, refreshing sleep you miss. In this video, I'll share 7 simple, tasty ways to enjoy pumpkin seeds at home. From a warm pumpkin seed milk before bed to a handful of roasted seeds as a nightly ritual, these small changes can make a big difference. Just imagine ending your day with a peaceful routine that actually signals your brain it's time to rest. If you've ever thought restful sleep was gone forever, please don't lose hope. A simple seed might help you dream again. Before we dive in, let me ask, where are you watching from, and what time is it right now where you are? Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to know. Before we jump into the practical tips, let's uncover the hidden science. Why something as small as a pumpkin seed can actually calm your nerves, balance your brain chemistry, and gently guide your body into sleep. When we think of pumpkin seeds, most people imagine just a crunchy snack. But hidden inside these little seeds is a natural pharmacy that works directly on your brain and your sleep cycle. Let's break down why. First, let's talk about magnesium, often called the relaxation mineral. Magnesium helps your muscles loosen up, calms your nervous system, and even lowers anxiety. Many studies show that diets rich in magnesium improve sleep quality, especially in older adults. Think about it. When your body is tense, when your mind is restless, sleep becomes almost impossible. Magnesium is like a gentle hand on your shoulder, reminding your body, it's okay, you can rest now. I once spoke with a retired teacher who couldn't sleep more than 3 hours at a time. She started eating a small handful of pumpkin seeds in the evening, and within 2 weeks, she noticed her nights felt calmer and her mornings less foggy. Next, tryptophan. You've probably heard of it around Thanksgiving because turkey is famous for it. But pumpkin seeds are also a rich source. Tryptophan is an amino acid your body turns into serotonin, the happy chemical, and then into melatonin, the sleep hormone. This pathway is nature's way of gently preparing your brain for rest. Researchers have found that even 1 gram of tryptophan per day can significantly improve sleep quality. Imagine that. Just a spoonful of seeds giving your brain the tools it needs to fall asleep naturally. But here's where it gets even better. Zinc. Zinc acts like a helper, making sure tryptophan is efficiently converted into serotonin and melatonin. Without zinc, that chain reaction doesn't work as smoothly. This is one reason why people low in zinc often feel mood swings or trouble sleeping. With pumpkin seeds, you're getting both tryptophan and zinc in the same bite, a perfect natural partnership. And we can't forget about antioxidants like vitamin E and carotenoids. As we age, our cells, including the nerve cells in our brain, are more vulnerable to oxidative stress. Antioxidants are like bodyguards, protecting these cells and helping maintain a healthy circadian rhythm, that natural clock inside us that tells the body when to wake and when to sleep. When you put all of this together, magnesium to relax, tryptophan to build melatonin, zinc to keep the process running, and antioxidants to protect your brain, you create the perfect environment for restful sleep. This is especially important after 60, when our natural melatonin levels drop and sleep becomes harder to maintain. So instead of relying only on pills or quick fixes, imagine giving your body the raw ingredients it actually needs. A small, simple seed can become a signal to your brain. It's time to rest, it's safe, and you will wake up refreshed. That's the hidden power of pumpkin seeds. Tiny, natural, and surprisingly effective. Now that we know why pumpkin seeds are like nature's little sleep boosters, let's make it practical. How can you actually bring them into your daily routine in a simple, tasty, and enjoyable way? Here are 7 easy methods. And trust me, some of them might surprise you. 1. Yogurt with pumpkin seeds. Let me paint a picture. It's a quiet evening. The sun has already slipped behind the horizon, the house is calm, and you're sitting in your favorite chair. You want a little something to eat before bed, but you know too well what happens if you grab cookies or ice cream. You toss and turn all night, waking up groggy and tired. Now imagine a small bowl of creamy Greek yogurt, topped with a generous sprinkle of pumpkin seeds and a few slices of fresh kiwi or strawberry. It looks simple, almost too simple. But this little dish is a powerful recipe for better sleep. Why does it work? Yogurt brings in protein to keep your blood sugar stable overnight and probiotics to soothe your digestion. Pumpkin seeds are full of magnesium and tryptophan, the exact nutrients your body needs to relax your muscles, calm your mind, and start producing melatonin. Add in fresh fruit, especially something rich in vitamin C like kiwi, and your body absorbs those minerals even better. It's like a natural sleeping pill, but in the form of a delicious snack. Let me share the story of Mary, age 72, from Ohio. For years, Mary had a habit of eating ice cream before bed. It gave her comfort, but she started noticing her sleep was getting worse. She would wake up 2 or 3 times a night, feeling restless and thirsty. Her daughter suggested she try swapping her ice cream for yogurt with pumpkin seeds and fruit. Mary hesitated at first. Could something so small really help me? But she decided to try. Within just 2 weeks, she was amazed. She told me, "I didn't just fall asleep faster. I woke up with energy I hadn't felt in years. It was like I turned the clock back on my body." The beauty of this snack is that it's easy and enjoyable. There's no need for complicated recipes or expensive supplements. Just a few spoons of yogurt, a small handful of pumpkin seeds, and some fruit. Eaten about 1 to 2 hours before bed, it satisfies late-night cravings while gently preparing your brain for rest. And here's a little tip. Keep the portion small. Too much yogurt or fruit can feel heavy on your stomach. The goal is light, simple, and consistent. Over time, this small habit becomes more than food. It becomes a signal to your body that the day is done and it's safe to let go. So the next time you feel tempted by that tub of ice cream, remember Mary's story. Swap it for yogurt with pumpkin seeds and give your body what it really needs. A pathway to peaceful, refreshing sleep. 2. Trail mix with pumpkin seeds. Have you ever woken up at 2 or 3 in the morning with your stomach growling? You stumble into the kitchen, open the pantry, and grab whatever is quick. Maybe a few crackers, maybe even some chips. For a moment, you feel satisfied, but soon after, you're lying wide awake, wondering why your sleep feels so broken. This is where a simple homemade trail mix can change everything. Imagine a small jar filled with pumpkin seeds, almonds, walnuts, cashews, and a handful of unsweetened dried fruit. It's colorful, crunchy, and inviting. More importantly, it's the kind of bedtime snack that fuels your body instead of fighting against it. Here's why it works. Pumpkin seeds provide magnesium and tryptophan to help calm your nervous system and support melatonin production. Nuts like almonds and walnuts add healthy fats that keep your blood sugar steady through the night. And the natural sweetness of dried fruit satisfies your craving without spiking your glucose the way processed snacks do. Together, this little handful becomes a steady source of fuel that carries you gently through the night. Let me share the story of George, age 68, from Texas. George was a retired truck driver who always prided himself on being strong, but after retirement, he started waking up hungry in the middle of the night. At first, he thought it was just a habit, but soon it became a cycle. Wake up at 2 a.m., raid the pantry, and then lie in bed wide awake until dawn. His doctor warned him that constant snacking on crackers and chips at night was spiking and crashing his blood sugar, which was keeping him from sleeping deeply. That's when George's wife prepared a simple trail mix with pumpkin seeds, almonds, and raisins. Instead of chips, he started eating a small handful of the mix about an hour before bedtime. Within a week, he noticed something surprising. He no longer woke up starving, and after a month, he realized he was sleeping straight through the night. George laughed when he told me, "I didn't just get my sleep back. I got my mornings back too. I finally had the energy to work in my garden again." The secret here is portion size. Trail mix is nutrient-dense, so you don't need much. Just a small handful, what fits comfortably in the palm of your hand, is enough. Too much can feel heavy, but the right amount becomes a gentle cushion for your body as you rest. So, if midnight hunger is robbing you of sleep, take a lesson from George. Prepare a little jar of pumpkin seed trail mix. Keep it handy, and let this simple snack become part of your nightly routine. Sometimes the path to better sleep really is just one handful away. 3. Pumpkin seed, bread, or muffins. There's something magical about the smell of fresh bread baking in the oven. The warmth fills the kitchen, the air feels cozy, and it reminds us of family gatherings and comfort from years gone by. Now imagine that same bread not only comforting your heart, but also helping you sleep better at night. That's the power of pumpkin seed bread or muffins. When you add pumpkin seeds to bread, you're turning an everyday food into a natural sleep aid. Whole grain flour is rich in vitamin B6, which helps convert tryptophan into serotonin. The pumpkin seeds sprinkled inside or on top add magnesium, zinc, and healthy fats. A slice of this bread, paired with a warm cup of tea or milk in the evening, becomes more than just food. It becomes a ritual for rest. Let me tell you about Helen, age 75, from Michigan. Helen had always loved baking, but in recent years she lost interest because her nights had become restless. She often stayed awake until 2 or 3 in the morning, unable to settle her mind. Her daughter found a simple recipe for pumpkin seed bread and encouraged her to try it. At first, Helen laughed. "Bread to help me sleep? That sounds silly." But she gave it a chance. Every Sunday, she baked a fresh loaf. In the evenings, she toasted a slice, spread a little honey on top, and enjoyed it slowly with a cup of chamomile tea. Within 2 weeks, she noticed a shift. She was falling asleep faster. Within a month, she was sleeping through the night more often than not. And perhaps most importantly, baking brought joy back into her days. "When I smell that bread," she told me with a smile, "I know rest is on its way." The beauty of this method is that it's both nourishing and comforting. Food isn't just about nutrients. It's also about memories and rituals. When you combine the calming effects of pumpkin seeds with the familiar comfort of bread, create a powerful signal to your body that the day is over and it's time to rest. And here's a tip. If you're not into baking, you don't have to do it alone. Try baking with your grandchildren or a friend. Make it an activity that brings connection as well as health. Even a simple batch of muffins sprinkled with seeds can bring both joy and sleep to your evenings. So, if you've been struggling with restless nights, consider taking a page from Helen's book. Sometimes the path to better sleep starts not in the pharmacy, but in the warm glow of your own kitchen oven. 4. Warm pumpkin seed milk. There's something almost magical about holding a warm cup in your hands at the end of the day. The steam rising, the comforting smell, the gentle warmth spreading through your body. It's a ritual that whispers to your mind, it's time to rest. For many, a glass of warm cow's milk was the classic bedtime drink. But for those who can't tolerate dairy or simply want something new, warm pumpkin seed milk is a wonderful alternative. Making it is simple. You soak pumpkin seeds for a few hours, blend them with water, and strain to create a creamy liquid. Warm it gently, add a drizzle of honey or a pinch of cinnamon, and you have a bedtime drink that feels like a hug in a cup. Unlike heavy snacks, pumpkin seed milk is light, soothing, and packed with magnesium, zinc, and tryptophan, the exact nutrients your body craves for deep, restful sleep. Let me tell you about Thomas, age 80, from California. Thomas had always loved food, but chewing became harder after he lost several teeth. Crunchy snacks like nuts and seeds were no longer enjoyable for him. As a result, he missed out on many of the healthy habits his friends recommended. One evening, his granddaughter suggested they try making pumpkin seed milk together. At first, Thomas was skeptical, but when he held that first warm cup in his hands, he smiled. "It feels like a warm blanket for my insides," he said. Thomas began drinking a small glass of pumpkin seed milk every night before bed. Within a few weeks, he noticed changes. His nights were calmer. He no longer woke up with the same anxious energy. And perhaps most importantly, he rediscovered a sense of ritual, something to look forward to each evening. He told me, "It's not just the milk, it's the routine. I sit down, I breathe, I sip, and my body knows. It's time to let go." That's the real secret here. It's not only about the nutrients, though they are powerful. It's also about creating a consistent signal to your body. When you drink the same soothing beverage at the same time each night, your brain begins to connect that ritual with sleep. Over time, it becomes an anchor, gently pulling you toward rest. So, if chewing seeds feels difficult, or if you simply want a comforting new routine, try warm pumpkin seed milk. Let it become your evening ritual, just like it did for Thomas. Because sometimes, the smallest rituals, a warm cup, a few minutes of quiet, can make the biggest difference in how peacefully you sleep. 5. Roasted pumpkin seeds, unsalted. Sometimes, the best solutions are also the simplest. No fancy recipes, no complicated steps, just roasted pumpkin seeds, plain and unsalted. A small handful, eaten an hour or two before bed, can become a surprisingly powerful tool for better sleep. When you roast pumpkin seeds lightly, just enough to bring out their nutty flavor without burning, you preserve the magnesium, zinc, and tryptophan inside. These are the nutrients that relax your muscles, calm your nervous system, and help your body produce melatonin. By keeping them unsalted, you also avoid the extra sodium that can raise blood pressure or make you thirsty during the night. Let me share the story of Eleanor, age 70, from New York. Eleanor was practical and didn't like anything too complicated. She often said, "If it takes more than 5 minutes, I'm not doing it." For years, she struggled with restless nights, waking up 2 or 3 times and feeling exhausted in the morning. Friends suggested teas, supplements, even meditation apps, but none of it stuck. One day, her neighbor brought over a jar of roasted pumpkin seeds. "Just try a handful before bed," the neighbor said. Eleanor shrugged, thinking it couldn't possibly make a difference. But she decided to give it a chance. Every night, about an hour before bed, she grabbed a small handful, nothing more than what fit in her palm. The change was slow, but steady. After the first week, she noticed she was falling asleep a little faster. By the 3rd week, she realized she wasn't waking up nearly as often. After a month, she told me with a laugh, "It's the laziest solution I've ever tried, and the only one that's actually worked." What made it work for Eleanor wasn't just the seeds themselves, it was the consistency. By eating them at the same time every night, she created a signal her body began to recognize. Just like brushing her teeth or turning off the lights, the handful of seeds became part of her bedtime rhythm. Her body understood. It's time to slow down, to rest. That's the secret power of roasted pumpkin seeds. They're simple, accessible, and easy to make part of your routine. You don't need to prepare a fancy drink or bake bread if that's not your style. Just a handful of roasted seeds can be enough to restore the rhythm of your nights. So, if you're like Eleanor, someone who wants a straightforward, no-fuss approach, try keeping a jar of roasted, unsalted pumpkin seeds on your counter. Let them become your nightly ritual. Because sometimes the smallest and simplest habits bring the greatest peace. 6. Pumpkin seed smoothie. Not everyone craves something warm before bed. For some, especially in warmer climates, a cool and refreshing drink feels like the perfect way to end the day. That's where a pumpkin seed smoothie comes in. Creamy, light, and naturally sweet, it can double as both a healthy treat and a natural sleep aid. The idea is simple. You take a small handful of pumpkin seeds and blend them with fruit that's rich in vitamin B6, like bananas or kiwi, because B6 helps your body convert tryptophan into serotonin and, eventually, melatonin. Add a splash of almond milk or even gently warmed milk if you like it creamier, and you have a bedtime drink that is both delicious and deeply nourishing. Let me tell you about Robert, age 66, from Florida. Robert had always been a smoothie guy. Every morning, he made himself a blend of berries, bananas, and yogurt. But nights were a different story. He often woke up around 3 a.m., wide awake, and struggled to fall back asleep. His wife suggested he try moving his smoothie habit to the evening, but with a twist, adding pumpkin seeds and banana. At first, Robert was doubtful. "A smoothie for sleep sounds too easy," he joked. But he gave it a try. Each evening, after dinner, he blended a small smoothie, a banana, a few pumpkin seeds, almond milk, and just a touch of cinnamon. Within a week, he noticed he wasn't waking up as often. By the 3rd week, he realized something amazing. He was sleeping through the night, waking up at sunrise instead of at 3 a.m. He later told me, "It became my sweet lullaby in a glass. It tastes good, it feels good, and it helps me sleep." What more could I ask for? The key, as Robert learned, is moderation. Too large a smoothie can feel heavy on the stomach or lead to late-night bathroom trips. But a small glass, just enough to satisfy your taste buds, can provide the nutrients your body needs to settle into sleep. Another benefit of the smoothie is flexibility. Don't like bananas? Use kiwi or mango. Prefer it creamier. Add a spoonful of yogurt. Want it lighter? Stick with just fruit, seeds, and water. The base of pumpkin seeds remains the star, and everything else is just a supporting actor. So, if warm drinks aren't your style, or if you find yourself craving something refreshing at night, try a pumpkin seed smoothie. Like Robert, you may discover that the path to peaceful sleep can be as simple and delicious as blending a few ingredients together. 7. Salad with pumpkin seeds. For many people, heavy dinners make falling asleep harder. You lie down with a full stomach, and instead of resting, your body is busy digesting. That's why a light evening meal can often be the secret to better sleep. And one of the simplest, healthiest, and most effective options is a salad topped with pumpkin seeds. Think of it: fresh leafy greens, maybe some grilled chicken or salmon, a drizzle of olive oil, a splash of apple cider vinegar, and finally, a generous sprinkle of crunchy pumpkin seeds. It's colorful, refreshing, and satisfying without weighing you down. Best of all, it delivers the very nutrients, magnesium, tryptophan, zinc, that prepare your body for rest. Let me share the story of Margaret, age 78, from London. Margaret had developed a habit of skipping dinner because she thought eating late wasn't healthy. But skipping meals led to something worse: waking up at midnight, starving. She would find herself rummaging through the kitchen for biscuits or toast, and afterward, she couldn't fall back asleep. Her nights became fragmented, and her mornings were filled with fatigue. Her doctor suggested she try having a light dinner instead of none at all. Margaret decided to make a salad part of her routine. At first, she made it very simple: spinach, cherry tomatoes, cucumber, a boiled egg, and a handful of pumpkin seeds on top. To her surprise, she noticed a difference right away. She wasn't waking up hungry anymore, and within a few weeks, her sleep grew deeper and more consistent. Margaret told me, "I realized I didn't need to go hungry. I just needed the right kind of dinner. The salad was enough to keep me satisfied, but light enough to let my body relax. And those pumpkin seeds, they became my secret weapon." Here's why this works so well. Leafy greens provide fiber and essential vitamins. Olive oil helps absorb fat-soluble nutrients. And pumpkin seeds add the minerals and amino acids that directly influence your sleep hormones. It's a perfect combination: light, balanced, and sleep-friendly. The best part? Salads are endlessly customizable. You can swap in whatever vegetables you like, add beans or fish for protein, and experiment with dressings. But always remember the pumpkin seeds. They're the finishing touch that turns an ordinary salad into a bedtime ally. So if you've been skipping dinner or relying on heavy meals that leave you uncomfortable, consider Margaret's story. A light salad with pumpkin seeds might be exactly what your body has been craving. Because sometimes the road to better sleep starts not with less food, but with the right food served in the right way. Before you dash to the kitchen and stock your pantry with pumpkin seeds, take a breath. Natural remedies can be powerful, but they only shine when they're used wisely and consistently. First, mind your portions. Pumpkin seeds are nutrient-dense. That's the good news, but more isn't always better. A small handful per day, about 30 g, roughly 1/4 cup, is enough for most people. Going well beyond that can backfire with bloating, constipation, gassiness, or general stomach discomfort. Think steady and moderate, not as much as possible. If you're new to them, start smaller and see how your body responds over a few evenings. Second, consider your health conditions and medicines. If you have low blood pressure, remember that pumpkin seeds are rich in magnesium, which relaxes muscles and blood vessels and may nudge blood pressure a little lower. If your baseline BP already runs low, or you're on antihypertensives, Check with your clinician before making seeds a nightly staple. If you live with diabetes, pumpkin seeds can help steady glucose thanks to their protein, fiber, and healthy fats. That's helpful. But if you're on insulin or sulfonylureas, a very low-carb dinner plus seeds might tip you toward nocturnal hypoglycemia. Keep your evening meal balanced. Vegetables, lean protein, a modest portion of starch. Monitor your numbers and don't change medication without medical advice. If you take diuretics or already wake to urinate at night, note that pumpkin seeds may have a mild diuretic effect. Eating them too close to bedtime can mean extra bathroom trips. Move your serving earlier in the evening and moderate fluids late at night. Third, watch for allergies, even though they're uncommon. Signs can include itching, hives, throat tightness, trouble breathing, or vomiting. If any of these appear, stop immediately and seek medical care. If you've had reactions to other nuts or seeds, test a very small amount first. Here's the encouraging part. For the vast majority of people, pumpkin seeds are safe, simple, and wonderfully effective when enjoyed in moderation. You don't need to overhaul your whole diet in one day. Often, a single gentle habit, a small handful of seeds, a warm cup of pumpkin seed milk, or a sprinkle over your salad or yogurt, is enough to start shifting your nights and mornings in the right direction. Let's zoom out. Good sleep is built, not bought. It grows from small, loving routines repeated over time. Brushing your teeth, dimming the lights, turning off the television, saying goodnight, and yes, perhaps enjoying a few pumpkin seeds. These aren't just actions. They're signals to your nervous system that say, you're safe now, you can rest.